Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Quick History. Today we're going to be looking at the Battle of the Somme. As always, there's a free handout in the description below, and you can click on subscribe if you like what you see. Let's get into the details. The Battle of the Somme took place between the 1st of July 1916 and November 1916, with 3 million men taking part. The Battle of the Somme is both the most popular and most well understood battle from the British perspective during the First World War, but it's also the largest battle of the First World War, with 3 million men taking part and 1 million men being killed or wounded. Now, the battle itself, the Somme was the result of a plea for help from the French at Verdun. As we looked at in the previous video, the French at Verdun were being bled white by Falkenhayn and the German army. They pled with Britain to open up a new offensive in the north of France to relieve some pressure on them at the very vital city of Verdun. Now, the battle itself began on the 24th of June with a bombardment of over 1 million shells in the space of 1 week. This bombardment was important for two reasons. First of all, the aim of the bombardment was to kill as many Germans in the trenches as possible, to smash their barbed wire, and to smash the trenches themselves. The second reason is because if that was successful, the British would then be able to simply get out of their trenches, walk across no man's land, kill any survivors and any wounded, take the trenches, and then move forward in a successful advance. Despite 1.5 million shells being fired in the lead up to the Battle of the Somme, the offensive failed. The Germans knew the attack was coming, and the Germans were sheltered in dugouts within their trenches. So the moment that the artillery bombardment ends, the Germans, from the safety of their dugouts, emerge with their rifles and machine guns and wait inevitably for the attack to begin. At 7:30 on the morning of the Battle of the Somme, the first day on the 1st of July, the British emerge from their trenches and begin the walk towards the Germans. Emphasise there the word walk, not run, because their orders directly stated that they had to walk towards the German trenches. As they do so, they are met by a hail of machine gun fire. The Germans, in the first day, inflict 20,000 deaths and about 38,000 casualties upon the British Army. It is still to this day the bloodiest day in the history of the British Army. Despite these tactics, Haig continued to send men over the top, wave after wave after wave, which was the reason why the casualties were so high. This led to two things. It led to the development of new tactics, such as the creeping barrage, and also the deployment of new weapons by the British, which are the tanks. Now, Britain and France lost approximately 620,000 soldiers at the Battle of the Somme, much more than at the Battle of Verdun. And Germany lost approximately 500,000. So just like with the Battle of Verdun, which we looked at in the previous video, the same story is told with the Battle of the Somme. Stalemate and high casualties on both sides. Haig is criticised for his tactics at the Battle of the Somme, as he continued to be inflexible and continued to refuse to change his mind on the first day, sending wave after wave, even though he knew the artillery bombardment had failed. However, Haig does deserve some credit, because as a result of the Battle of the Somme, the British Army begins to change. Tactics begin to change, the deployment of weapons begins to change, and some of the decisions, such as the deployment of the tank and the Whippet tank, and the deployment of the creeping barrage, are crucial in the development of warfare in 1917, which helped Britain, France and the Americans eventually be successful in the First World War. Also, and maybe more importantly, the effect of the Battle of the Somme on Germany is often missed. Germany lost so many men at the Battle of the Somme. There has been a considerable argument since that from the moment the Battle of the Somme ended, Germany could keep fighting the war, but they could never win. The men they lost at the Battle of the Somme were their most experienced professional soldiers. They now had to replace those with poorly trained, poorly motivated conscripts. Britain, due to the large volunteer force that he had gathered, still had lots of men in reserve, as did the French, and as we know, the Americans come into the war in 1917. So the effect of the Battle of the Somme was both a negative and a positive for the British, but was largely just a negative for the Germans. Make sure you get your free handout in the section below in the description. Make sure you click on subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we talk about the Battle of Passchendaele. I'll see you there.